Were any of you expecting Jasmine and Gino to roleplay as Dr. Gino and Jasmine the nurse? Because I sure didn't. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Chisme Corner. We are going to be covering Gino and Jasmine in this video only, and then in the next one we will do all of the couples, well, the rest of the couples. Now, I had done a recap for episode 1, but I realized that I deleted the file. So that's very unfortunate. I'm gonna put it down in the bio some people that you guys can watch for that recap, but let's get going.
It is time.
So we get started with Jasmine and Gino. Jasmine is saying that she feels a little bit more comfortable now, that she was upset about a lot of the things that she had to see, that the house wasn't like to the standard that she would have liked it to be, but that she's getting over it. And even Gino cleaned the bed comforter, and that made her really happy because now it doesn't smell anymore and it doesn't have any more stains. Then Jasmine is like,
I have a surprise.
So I'm gonna go into the restroom and I'll be back shortly. It's nothing bad. Gino goes to the side and he starts helping her unpack. And as he's unpacking, he's like, oh my God, Jasmine, you have so many underwear, so many intimate clothes. And then Jasmine comes out wearing a nurse outfit because they want to role play. So she gives to Gino a doctor outfit, and he's like, you gotta put it on, this is what you're gonna do, this is what you're gonna say.
Dr. Gino, remember this is an emergency.
Did you say emergency?
And she's giving him a bunch of tools that she wants him to use on her, and then she's just like super excited about it. And let's not forget that in one of the 90-Day Fiancé franchises, Jasmine got her coochie fixed. She is extremely excited because this is going to be the first time that they're going to be able to use her new coochie. You know, they're going to take it out for a ride, and Gino and Jasmine are extremely excited.
Let's go for a little ride.
Jasmine tells Gino, not only am I your nurse, I'm also your patient. So I need you to do all these things. And Gino's like, yep, yeah, let's prep you. Let's get you ready for this.
Lives are at stake, and I'm here to save them, one by one.
Doctor! There's a car accident patient in the ER!
We must hurry.
And they start making out. I mean, Gino is head over heels over this outfit. And
The doctor outfit is making me feel like I'm kind of in control here.
they even had to kick Coco out of the room because Coco was like all over them and he wouldn't let them do anything. So yeah, they kicked them out. And then the next day in the morning, the producers show us that Gino and Jasmine completed what they wanted to do because we see the clothes everywhere. And Jasmine tells us herself,
Gino was playing with the toys first, and then he moved to the main tool. And, well, good news, I'm not virgin anymore.
and she just loved what happened between her and Gino. So Jasmine is like, I could have sex 3 times a day. And Gino's like,
You serious?
like he knows that that's probably a lot, but he's just like, yeah, we could try. And then she tells him that if they had more sex, then they would argue less than they already do. And this is like a different perspective because for Gino, if they argue less, then he says that the sex will be more frequent, but for Jasmine it's completely the opposite. So they do a pinky promise again that they're gonna try to fight less and that they're going to just do better. So they go downstairs for breakfast and Jasmine pulls out a set of bread.
Did you buy this bread?
I just bought it right before you got here.
It has honey. Where does honey comes from? Where does honey comes from?
It comes from bees.
What are bees?
Bees are insects.
And insects are also animals.
And she's like, you know that I'm vegan. You know that I don't eat meat. You know that I don't eat animal products. And she's just upset about it. She's not like screaming at him, but I totally understand her when it comes to this, because if you know that your partner is coming to live with you from, across the world, then maybe you should have asked her exactly what it is that she wanted to have around the house.
There is nothing more attractive than a man that cares about animals.
I could find and I could name other things that will make a man very attractive to me, but for Jasmine is
A man that cares about animals.
so she also says that like eventually she's gonna start making the meals and cooking for them, and Gino's not even going to realize that he's completely vegan. So Jasmine makes herself an oatmeal. They go sit down, they're having breakfast, and then she starts shivering. She's like shaking because she's cold and she's wearing this robe. And she's like, oh yeah, I got this robe, but I think I'm gonna have to get something better because it's very cold and this is not gonna work for Michigan. So Gino tells her that he has things that he can let her have so she's not cold. She's like, I don't want to wear your clothes, Gino. I want my own stuff. But he's like shaking because he still hasn't told her that he quit his job. So he's trying to see if he can prevent her from spending money. But we all know Jasmine. And she says that, it's not her trying to be a brat, but things around the house are not working. Just something as simple as fixing an oatmeal took her so much longer because the stove isn't to the standard that it should be. So she's already thinking about all the things that she's gonna change, like the restroom, like the whole house. If she could, she would just buy a new house, things around the house, her clothes, things like that. And Gino still hasn't broken the news to her.
Later.
And Gino says, baby, there's something I have to tell you. And you can see Jasmine's getting ready for it. She's preparing. And he's like, I knew you were coming here, so I wanted to make sure that I was here for you to help you throughout the whole process and give you my 101% energy.
I need to give you the attention from the day one that you're here. So I ended up quitting my job just before you came.
And Jasmine, you can tell that she was upset about it, but she didn't yell at him. And I was so surprised by her reaction. I just wanted to clap for her and give her props because she's been growing so much as to the point that she doesn't lose her shit anymore on Gino. Subscribe. But you can tell that she is upset because she tells him that this is a decision that you should have talked to me about. We should have made this decision together and not just you by yourself. And I just don't appreciate that because we had plans. We had plans of bringing my kids over to the US, and now it feels like that's gonna take longer. And I totally understand that because just imagine as a child being stuck in your country and your mom being in a different whole place, and now they're telling you that it's gonna take longer because Gino decided to quit his job. I know he has the savings for it and he has planned it to the point that they'll be able to live with his savings, but it does pushes things back a little bit. Gino also tells her don't worry about it, we can have a little ceremony for our wedding. It doesn't have to be a big thing. And Jasmine's like, that's the last thing that I'm stressed about, Gino. I am stressed about so many other things. She has her kids. She wants to bring them here. And she can't even get a job for now. She has to wait until her 90-day her employment permit comes in and she can work. So she is very stressed and she starts having, kind of a meltdown and just being like, this is too much. I'm stressed. And Gino's like, don't be stressed, baby. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And you could tell that Jasmine is pretty upset. So she decides to actually leave the conversation and just tell Gino, you know what? I'm going to go take a shower. I'll be back later. So she leaves.
I'm out this bed.
Later on, Gino, to make it up to Jasmine, decides to take her to a massage therapist, and they're gonna do they're gonna do a couples massage. So they're all excited, they're going there, and Jasmine's like, oh, I get this like 3 times a week. I get massages 3 times a week. So I'm so glad that we're gonna go do this. And Gino's like, well, yeah, I thought that you would like it. I know you'll really enjoy them. They go inside the massage room and they're all excited. Jasmine's taking her clothes off, Gino's taking his clothes off, and Jasmine's like, woo! Throws her freaking bra to Gino. Gino's like all excited about seeing Jasmine. And then Jasmine starts just complimenting him.
I saw something.
What did you see?
I saw a sexy banana. And I like bananas.
You saw.
And the whole time I was like, please stop. This is too much information for everyone in this room. The producers, the cameraman, me, and all the people watching you guys when the episode comes out.
This needs to stop now.
After the banana conversation, when the massage therapists come inside, they try to take Gino's hat off, and Gino's like, no, 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 no. So I was like, okay, Gino, like you should just let them take it off. But I understand that he doesn't want us to see him without it. And then he clarifies for us this.
I love hats because they help me cover my bald head. I don't wear a hat in the shower, and yes, I take my hat off when I go to bed, and yes, I don't have a hat on when I have sex with Jasmine. I just want to get that out of the way.
So thank you, Gino, for clarifying. We were all wondering if you wore your hat at all times of the day. So thank you so much. Jasmine, the therapist touches her butt, and Jasmine's like,
Sorry, it hurts. It hurts.
Why does your ass hurt?
Gino's like, does it hurt because of the plane? Because you were sitting for many hours? And Jasmine's like, no. So now that you are in a good mood, Gino, it would be good for me to break the news to you. And Gino's like, what news are you talking about, Jasmine? And then she's like, promise that you won't get mad, please. Promise that you won't get mad. Gino cuts her right off and he's like, what news, Jasmine? So she's like, remember when I lost a lot of weight and I told you that my butt wasn't looking the same and that I didn't like it anymore and that I wanted to get butt implants? Well, I got them. And Gino's like, you got butt implants? He's like so surprised about it. And I was wondering, didn't you notice last night when you guys were having sex that her butt didn't look the same and that it was a little bigger and that it looked like it was butt implants? Because, you know, it does not look the same. And he didn't. Like, how did he not notice that? I wouldn't notice. Gino's like, no, you didn't. She's like, yeah, I did. And just starts laughing. Her laugh was cracking me up. She even pulls down her towel and she's like, look, I still have the marks of the surgery. And the whole time she has such a grim smile on her face about the butt implants. But Gino's not happy about it. Now that Jasmine finally told Gino what she did, she feels a relief in her shoulders that she was able to tell him and now she doesn't have to hide it from him. But she feels sad because Gino usually doesn't get mad at Jasmine. It takes a lot for Gino to get upset, and now he's very, very upset. So she's just like sad. Gino tells her, why did you get them? When did you get them? And how did you get them? And Jasmine's just like, well, so you remember that time that you kept calling me and asking me why I wasn't working out and going on my usual runs, and I told you that I was recovering from COVID? Well, I was recovering from my butt implants. That's exactly what happened. And Gino's like, Jasmine, why will you lie to me? You don't need butt implants. You're good. Like, you don't need it. And I totally agree with Gino that I don't feel like Jasmine needed that surgery. But I do understand that it made her feel better. But I don't know. I just feel like we need to stop with trying to modify our bodies over and over again just to, like, please those unrealistic beauty standards that are set in place for us to just feel insecure over and over again. That's exactly what has happened to Jasmine over and over again. She just keeps changing every part of her body, her boobs, her ass. I'm pretty sure she had I don't know if she had a lipo actually, but she changed her face too a lot. Now we do want to know how much money Jasmine spent on those butt implants, especially Gino. So he's like, so how much money you spent? 5,000? No. 8,000? No. 10,000? Yes. And he's like, you spent 10,000 on butt implants? And Jasmine corrects him really quick. No, we spent 10,000 on butt implants.
We? We.
We all know how Gino feels about the 10,000 being spent on butt implants. Unnecessary cosmetic procedure. That's exactly what it is to him. And for Jasmine, it isn't like that. But Gino's like, why you spend so much money? How could you spend so much money? We could have used that money for other things, like the wedding, the appliances that you want to buy, the renovations that you want to make. And then she drops it on him that the money that he was sending to her for the wedding dress, she spent it on the goddamn butt implants. So Gino at this point, he's like, what is your problem, Jasmine? Like, this is ridiculous. And we have a confidential with him about how he feels about this, how he's always giving and giving and giving to Jasmine, and she's just taking and taking and taking. And he's paid for her rent, he's giving her money for her children, I'm pretty sure he's giving her an allowance, he pays for her cosmetic procedures, he pays for everything for her. And right now she doesn't have a job and he doesn't have a job. So how are they going to be able to handle this with Jasmine being such a driven spending person?
It feels like I'm the one that's always giving. I give, and Jasmine's just like taking. That's terrifying kind of to me because, is this how my life's gonna be?
It's looking a lot like this is how your life's gonna be, Gio. Sorry. To Jasmine, this is nothing. This for her, it was just a small lump of money. Because to her, when she was in Panama, Gina was doing so well financially and giving her so much money here and there that she never saw it as a concern. But I also think that it's Gino's fault, the fact that he just gave her money nonstop, because then now you're making her feel like you can continue to do that. And Jasmine tells us that yes, for her before it was like disposable, but now she sees it as like, oh, now we do have a budget because you quit your job and we're probably not going to do so well financially lately. And Gino's like, come on, Jasmine, like that's how do you not see it as a bad decision? Like, what were you thinking? So Jasmine tells us that she didn't think it was a big deal and that she feels like the reason why she was doing it was for Gino to look at her and find her more attractive. That she thought that he was gonna look at her and be like, oh my god, you did it for me, you got the butt implants for me, and he was gonna be so happy. But we're all seeing his reaction, and it's definitely not a happy reaction. He's pretty upset about it. So he walks out.
I just don't know how you can be spending thousands of dollars of our money. What's wrong with you? It's very selfish to spend that kind of money on unnecessary surgery. What the heck's wrong with you?
And he's like, okay, I'm done, I can't do this right now. He starts cussing at her. He gets very, very upset, and I could see why he's upset. Let's just not do any cussing, because then things are going to start escalating with Jasmine and Gino. But he walks out, and this is when Jasmine tells us that her ex-boyfriend Jane gave her $2,000.
There is no way I'm telling him the whole truth, that the remaining $2,000 came from my ex-boyfriend Dan.
I was like, what the heck? So according to Jasmine, $8,000 were from Gino and $2,000 were from Dane. And I had no idea that had happened. But later on, we see in like the preview for the next episode, Jasmine having a conversation with her friend or her sister, I don't know who it is, and she's like, oh yeah, I need to tell Gino about it because he's gonna be very upset. And I'm over here like, of course he's gonna be upset. Whose exes are dropping 2K on them? Because geez, I was like, what? 2K just because? Like, I don't know about you guys, but usually when an ex comes around and wants to drop 2K on you, it's not a free 2K. It's more of a give me something and I'll give you free 2K. But that was it for today's episode. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.